Good afternoon, good evening. I'm Terri Wisdom, and this is Harlem Network News. And Harlem Network News is a media platform, and we are really dedicated to assuring that Harlem and the Harlems of the world are informed, engaged, and called to action. And that's really, really, really critical at such a time as this. You can find us all over social media. Subscribe, please, to our YouTube channel, donate, and, just bring your eyeballs home, as my counterpart Roland Martin says. But today we are really, 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 really excited. We are covering the Harlem Fine Arts Show, which we have done in the past. But for this particular season, it's the summer Harlem Fine Art Show, and it is Harlem meets the Hamptons, from Harlem to the Hamptons. So this is like amazing. This is extremely exciting. And I literally have with us one of our artists, Paul Deo. Paul, if you would just introduce yourself to our audience and tell us who you are and whose you are, from whence you came. Thank you so much for joining us, Paul.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, really appreciate being here. Yeah, Harlem Network News is a very important
Absolutely.
part of the community. I appreciate it. Yeah, my name is Paul Deo or Deo. Some people say Deo, which is all good. Yeah, I was born and raised in New York City, but also lived in New Orleans, where my mom is from. So I have a lot of that with me as well. I'm a mixed media artist, and in Harlem, my most popular mural is called Planet Harlem. It's on the side of Corner Social on
Wow.
Malcolm X and
Okay.
126th Street, across the street from Sylvia's and the Red Rooster. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that one.
All right. So we never know who we're talking to. I love it. I've been looking at that mural and always admired it. And when you said mural,
um,
I didn't know it was that mural. So that's a very powerful mural that is so animated. So thank you so much. You can repeat that so the audience just make sure they go there and check it out. Thank you.
oh yeah, yeah, please go. Or you can find out information on planetharlem.com as well.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
wonderful.
yeah, the mural started. That really started a whole nother journey for me because I've been a painter. But then it was like November, December 2012. I won a competition because the Corner Social was a club that was just opening. So I won the
Okay.
competition
Mm,
with a simple design that I did like a few hours before the deadline. I just found
mm,
out about it. And so I
okay.
got I got the opportunity. But then I looked at the wall, I'm like, oh man, now I see, I don't think anybody else entered the competition because the wall was so busted up,
Okay.
boarded up windows, a fire escape in front of the wall. Everybody was like, man, I don't want to do that wall. People telling me I'm crazy because the reward was only $300 to paint that wall.
Okay.
And me,
Okay, but the reward kept giving, I'm sure.
that's it, that's it. But yeah, so I looked at it, I said, okay, God, just what I'm gonna listen to everything you say, because this is totally illogical. Every artist, everybody's telling me not to do it, wait till the spring, whatever. It was freezing
Mm,
cold out. And I'm looking at this huge wall that I'm gonna have to paint. And I just trusted God every way, every step of the way, setting up the scaffolds, the design, everything. And so I completed it, and people were still kind of against it while I was painting it. Artists were saying, you can't put pictures on the wall, you can't do this, you're messing up the game. All of this stuff. I had a lot of negatives, um,
mm.
pointed at me, but I was just focused. That's when I just say, yo, God, I'm just trusting you all the way. And now tour buses stop in front of it. There's
Yeah.
multi
No,
groups from all over the world.
it's iconic. And I don't know if you have to like touch it up or
Yeah.
whatever you painted it with, but it seems like it's, just consistent. And I think it's really important because I don't know if it's still there, but there was an amazing mural on Frederick Douglass in 125th that was outside what was Capital One, and it was just iconic. There was also, I think his name was Fredro. I might have it wrong, but the gates that pulled down on 125th, it was a very iconic artist that was
Yeah.
painting the gates. And I don't know if some of them still exist, but some of this mural art is just extremely important. So it's very interesting that you're that person. So
Yeah. I
yeah.
follow in the footsteps of Franco the Great.
Yes, Franco. Okay, I was saying Fredro.
Yeah.
That's a rap artist, Fredro.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I
But
think he's like for Onyx, right? He's
yeah, that's a
Onyx.
Fredro.
Yeah, yeah.
My
But
son
yeah, I
used to
visit
do
him
some work
often,
with
Franco the
Fredro,
Great.
but Franco the Great. Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Yeah, because at
Yeah.
some point we in reinventing and doing many things in media, we have a show which I want to really bring back, which is called Kofi's Village. And it was a mudcloth teddy bear that lived here in Harlem. And we covered Franco the Great,
Wow.
so that's a powerful thing. But how did you get here? How did you become, and it looks like you've got some beautiful art behind you. I see a lot of levels of things in this art. I'm looking at, red, black, and green. I'm looking at different iconic figures. But
Yeah.
how did you start like your art career? Did you have like formal training? Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, the foremost training I had was actually my aunt, my aunt Aressa. Yeah, she kind of took care of me. She showed me love. She was
Mm-hmm.
having a lot of mental difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
She would take me to the Apollo Theater. And both of
Okay.
my grandmothers lived near the Apollo Theater. And that's
Okay.
back when the performers were performing 2 and 3 times a day,
Okay.
from Wednesday through Sunday. Then the midnight shows, on
All
Friday and
right.
Saturday nights. So that
Mm,
formed my art aesthetic because as a youngster, I was able to go in there at no cost and you
mhm.
get picked
Okay.
up later. So it was sort of like my daycare center. So
Okay.
that formed my,
I
yeah, so
love
the
it.
Apollo.
Apollo, your daycare center. That
Oh,
works.
at the time, I was kind of embarrassed of that because I had friends
Mhm,
that outside playing and doing other things, and I'm in
mhm.
there studying James Brown,
Okay.
listening to Nina
Okay.
Simone's
Hey. All right
long
now.
lectures and her songs,
Okay.
so that
Beautiful.
formed my art aesthetic more than anything else. I saw and my aunt was at the same time teaching me art techniques. When I was 6 years old, I won an art contest for junior high school students in Brooklyn.
All right.
So I was, yes, so she had me like really, really out there, and she was really
Mm, nice.
teaching me the
Mm,
power of art to heal. It's not just
mm,
illustration.
I
And
love it.
and those things really stayed with me. And so yeah, that formed my initial energy was, yeah, I want to be a painter, but I also wanted to be on stage. I wanted to do a lot of things. And I remember
Hmm.
seeing Franco the Great walking to the Apollo. His murals were on the gates, and that just
Yes.
inspired me. I was like, wow, look
Wow.
at this. He had the diamond, he had the mirrors on there, he had all the energy and all the history. So that super, super inspired me. And I saw that all as part of the Apollo, just all of that energy. And
Hmm.
so I'm friends with Franco now. I think he's like
Wow.
96.
Okay. We would love to get back in touch with
Cool.
Franco.
Yeah,
That
he
is
would love
just
you.
that's just so amazing. And one of the things, I'm Terri Wisdom. This is Harlem Network News, and I am here with Paul Deo, artist, and we're going to be talking about this amazing Harlem Fine Art Show that, for the first time, is going to be out in the Hamptons. It usually happens in February. Past few years, it's been at the Glass House. Formerly, it was at Riverside Church, and we want to shout out the CEO and founder, Dion Clark, who I've known like since childhood. So I'm just so
Wow.
proud that this is rolled out like this. And then we also want to shout out the general manager, Richard Pelser, who's been doing some really incredible and innovative things. And as we say, teamwork is dream work. So we're all working so collectively on this. But I'm here with artist Paul Deo, and he's just sharing a lot of things. But I love interviewing people because even if I know the people, I find out new things. And we're here in Harlem, which is just a village, but it's also a state of mind. It's everywhere. It's that Harlem energy, and Harlem is really the mecca of a lot of Black creativity, art, brown. I mean, it's a place, it's a thing, it's an entity, it's a being, And as I'm speaking with Paul Deo, he's talking about this street artist, Franco the Great. And then we've got like another person who I'm sure you know that is also iconic, which is Sir Shadow, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a real thing. But so we're getting a bit of your background and just how you got into this whole art world. But if you could share a bit about, and I want people to know early in case they drop in that this Harlem Fine Arts show is happening out in the Hamptons. It's at Duck Walk Vineyard. It starts on the 17th, which is Friday, and it opens like 8 o'clock in the morning and it goes into the evening. So it's going to be an amazing thing. I think they've even got like buses set up if you want to go from New York. It's like that Hampton Jitney runs. You could take the Long Island Railroad out there to Southampton. I think general admission is like 25 or $30, trying to make it affordable. They got higher end stuff, but it's going to be the bomb. And if you don't know, like in the Hamptons, there's a Black summer community, which is called Sag Harbor. And that's amazing. It's on par with like Martha's Vineyard, but I kind of believe recently Martha's Vineyard's been getting a lot more bump. I mean, President and First Lady Michelle Obama have a home in Martha's Vineyard, and there's all these activities. But I believe the Harlem Fine Art Show has also done Martha's Vineyard, but this is the first time doing out there. And Sag Harbor has a really rich history. There's a whole Native American thing out there as well. The Shinnecock Reservation is there. There's a lot of connection. The Amistad boat, if you ever saw the movie, it originally docked in like Montauk, and the enslaved person that escaped. You know, there's a lot of cross pollination with the Shinnecock Nation, you know, hiding the enslaved people, Black whalers, you know, so it's a rich thing. So on the Friday night, I know that there is a gala with the Sag Harbor community. So this is history. I'm also going to run my short documentary because I'm, you know, from that Sag Harbor community. So we have a lot of things going on. But I'm going to go back to you, Paul. I just wanted to, you know, hit up people about this
Sure.
festival. But tell us about some of the other things you've done. I know there's a Spike Lee thing, there's a Harvard thing. Tell us a bit about your IT background. Just let us know. It's important. Thank you.
Oh yeah, yeah. I love painting. Yeah, paint on canvases and also do the murals. And I'm also doing the digital art. Like my mural Planet Harlem has augmented reality aspects to it, where you hold your phone up to the mural and some of the great icons from the mural come alive and tell their
Ah,
stories. So I'm
woo.
doing, yeah, interactivity. And I'm
Mm,
seeing, some people might look at it as a mural, but I'm seeing it as a whole ecosystem, as a whole platform.
mhm,
Because now it's open to tourism, education, like, and community pride, like so many things, so many things. And yeah, so I do digital art and I'm an educator. Yeah, I teach from elementary school. I'm teaching refugee orphans in the Bronx. I'm teaching teenagers that are incarcerated.
mm.
Like you said, I'm artist in residence at Harvard University. I'm invited to speak to the business students, the business and the law students about
Oh,
using
wow.
imagination. Because us as artists, we're like alchemists. You know, some of us
Mm,
are illustrators, you know, there's a lot of different types of artists. But then when you're a visionary artist, you got to think of something that's not there and believe it so much that it manifests. And that's what a lot of students don't get, that fact that you control every cell of your body. And that
mm.
if you think of something and focus on it, you can actually manifest it. And that's the lesson I teach from kindergarten to the highest in the universities, to the Ivy League
Okay.
schools.
I
To
I
really,
love it. So important. You know, I do media, but as you said, it's also like education.
Mhm.
And it's producing. I always say to everyone, I was a manager of a wonderful restaurant here in Harlem, and we did dinner theater. But I always think that everything is a production, you know, and I love what you're talking about in terms of manifesting. And I'm going to find out more about your education in our public schools, but because particularly here in Central Harlem. we have really separate but not equal education. And I think that that manifesting and that connecting and that understanding your power is very helpful to our students. And we also know that we have a lot of problems with violence and gun violence and all of these kinds of things. And as you're saying that, it it resonates to me that having that kind of understanding of one's power and who one is could be very, very helpful, even to mitigate the violence, understanding that culture.
Yeah.
But could you share just a bit? Because I know I saw in your amazing website that you traveled back and forth between New Orleans and Harlem. So that's quite a pipeline. Would you share that and just what the New Orleans, you know, put into you? Thank you.
Right, right. Yeah, my mom is from New Orleans.
Hmm.
Yeah, my dad is from like Brooklyn and Harlem.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I always lived back and forth. Yeah, I
Mm,
love the spirit of New Orleans, the relaxation, and the fact that you can't do the dances, you can't even be in a rhythm unless you let go completely.
hmm.
So that benefits me here in New York when everybody's so attentive to doing everything correctly. I can
Hmm.
have that rhythm of just spirit and trust in myself. But then
Mm,
Harlem in New York just gives me the mindset of godhood, just being in Harlem, being in the sacred place of Harlem, realizing that Harlem was a safe place for genius blacks to come from all over the country.
mhm.
Lee Armstrong came up to New York. He played a concert in 1929.
Who is it? Say that again, because
A Louis
make sure.
Armstrong from New
Oh
Orleans.
yes. Oh yes.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah, came up
yes.
to New York in 1929 and had a concert that blew everybody away. And
Mm,
then 20 years after that, they labeled it bebop. So this
okay.
so Harlem is a place that I love. Like I said, from the Apollo Theater to my grandmother's talking about Adam Clayton Powell Jr.'s church. She was a member of that church. My other
Oh,
grandmother,
I'm a
part
member of Abyssinian also. So
wow.
there we
Yeah, my other
go.
grandmother was part of Reverend Ike's church,
Okay,
So
I
it just
love
got,
it. We
but it was
know
all about
Reverend
them.
Ike. In
Definitely.
case you don't know, Reverend Ike's church is like kind of up about 170 something and Broadway. And Reverend Ike was a minister that talked about manifestation, prayer
Exactly.
cloths, all kinds of things. So it's interesting you should say Reverend Ike. There's a story, I read it in a book. So yeah, the Susan Taylor, one of the first editors of Essence magazine, in her book talks about, she was a single mother at the time, and she just had enough to, get like milk or something for her child. She was walking home from the Bronx, from, Manhattan to the Bronx. She stopped in Reverend Ike's church. She didn't know anything about it, prayed, and then she walked on across to the Bronx, and somehow out of that came, you know, uh, being the editor of Essence magazine. So
Wow.
the Reverend Ike stuff, we got a lot of creativity going on here. Thank you for sharing the Yale because that's a very powerful story. And then I know you had some connectors with Spike Lee.
Yes.
What's that about? Yeah.
Wow. Well, I first met Spike Lee. I was selling t-shirts on the streets in like on Broadway. Then I saw him walking down the street. I'm like, oh wow, they said he's editing a film in that building. So I did some shirts for him. I saw him again, gave him the shirts. He
Mhm.
saw me, hey man, I love what you're doing. Introduced me to Win Thomas, who just recently won an Oscar. Win Thomas was my mentor, was Spike Lee's first art director, production designer.
Wow.
So they put me on the film Malcolm X.
All
You
right. All
know? Yeah, and Spike Bass, there was like no blacks. There was like no blacks in the union.
right.
Actually, zero
Yeah,
Teamsters
I'm I'm
until
I'm
Spike Lee.
very yeah, I'm very, very familiar.
Yeah.
As I said, my background, and this is Harlem Network News. I'm Terri Wisdom. I'm here with artist extraordinaire, digital art, everything, murals, Paul Deo. But uh, well, my mentor was one of the first Black women, Madeline Anderson. I'll shout her out in the Film Editors Union, Local 771. Was a member of that union. I worked at Sesame Street Electric Company, uh,
Wow.
NABIT, working in, news and film and television. And you're absolutely correct. Worked on a wonderful show for Channel 13, 321 Contact with Madeline Anderson. And literally, as you said, there was very limited people that were in the unions. I think we did have a art design person that was. We did have a music, I think, person. I think his name was George Corin. But other than that, we really didn't have union people, but we just
Mhm.
kind of hired people anyway. And one day we were shooting out in Movie Lab Park, and Teamsters rolled up on us and shut it down. So this is, what that is.
Yeah,
If you're not in the union, you can't really work. And
right.
it's kind of like it's a catch 22. I don't know about now, but to be in the union, you kind of had to have a job. So it's catch. And a lot of Blacks were just not in the union, though they were talented. So that's a powerful thing that you're speaking about with Spike Lee and Win and cultural and conscious. So tell us about the Spike Lee mural, and then we quickly want to get to your Harlem Fine Arts show experience and what you've done in the past and what we can expect this time out in the
Yeah.
Hamptons.
Yeah. Yeah. For Spike Lee's famous film, some people say it's the best film ever made. In 1989, he did a film, Do the Right Thing. And right now, yeah, they renamed the street Do the Right Thing Way. So Spike called me to reproduce the mural that was in the film.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah, the image in which Win Thomas created. And so I got some of the original painters that painted it, way back to work with me, and we recreated that mural that was in the film Do the Right Thing for the big
mm,
celebration. It was like the hugest
absolutely.
celebration. It was right before COVID. So it
Mm.
was, it was wonderful. Everybody was out enjoying themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I love it. So quick flash, because we're gonna wind down. Um, Tell us about your formal training, because I know you said you were in IT and all that kind of stuff. Where did you do that? And how has that influenced your art?
Right, right. I tell you, yeah, I studied in school. I got a degree, a bachelor's of science in information technology. Yeah,
Okay.
'cause I
And where
always
was this? What school?
wow, I finished, I got my IT degree at University of Phoenix because they
Oh,
had a
okay.
Yale professor teaching the
Nice.
IT. So I'm like,
Oh,
whoa, I'm gonna go there and learn
nice.
all the elements of what I need to get.
Mhm.
Because
Okay.
I always didn't like asking people, hey, help me with my website. Hey, help me with this. Because you have to deal with people and sometimes you just have a vision. You really want to get it done. So I'm like, man, I need to develop my left side of my brain. I got the
Mm,
creative side. My
mhm.
left side is the technical side. So that's
Okay.
what I want to study. I could have studied art, and probably,
Mhm.
got out, like right away.
Right.
But I want to learn something to really develop my mind.
Mm. So you
Leonardo da
do
Vinci,
websites and everything too?
of course, of
All
course.
right. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm loving it. Yes,
you realize
yes.
like Romare Bearden was a mathematician. He went to medical school.
Romare
He was a
Bearden, in case you all don't know, this is
yeah,
Harlem Network News. He's one of our premier African American Black artists. Check him out. Look him up. You can
yeah.
Google him. Yeah.
Innovated collages, but he was a
Yes.
genius. He was a
Woo,
genius in all
woo.
aspects. He actually won a Grammy for a song he wrote. And he was supposed to be and he was a professional baseball player. Amazing, amazing people.
Yeah,
That's why I love Harlem. Harlem
yeah,
is
yeah.
the home
Woo.
of the gods, that did
Mm.
things that people couldn't even imagine, which I so love. Yeah, so that's my education. It's mostly
Okay.
just love and music. When I realized Michael Jackson and Prince and Aretha Franklin didn't read music, I'm like, wow, well, who was their art teacher? God up above. They allow themselves to be a channel for what God wants them to
Mm,
produce.
mm.
So that's my art teacher as well. So that's why I
Okay. Well,
was
thank
always
you.
afraid to take an art class, because they
Thank you for
wouldn't have that aspect to it. How do you
uh,
get the Holy Ghost in your art and not just look like an illustration, you know?
Holy Ghost in your art. I hear
Yeah.
that. Let's
And
go.
not just be an illustration, and not try to be popular, but trying to go deep into the soul, deep into the subconscious mind so people can actually be healed by looking at it. Because a painting, especially a big one, can actually heal you biochemically. It can adjust your whole mindset. So I'm
Mm,
trying to bring people in alignment with their higher
mm.
visions of themselves, man.
Wow, that's very very interesting because as you're saying that it's really creating a lot of images. If you get an opportunity, and this is for all the audiences as well. Go to the, and you may have seen it, go to the Renaissance Victoria Hotel right there next to the Apollo. There's a restaurant on the fifth floor, and there's some amazing art by one of our outsider artists, Haile King Ruby. And he's really, I would say, the Basquiat of Harlem. Check out his work. He's 36 years old. He also has Down syndrome, and he's got a book called Window to My Soul. Powerful. So, that just brought that up for me. But tell us, what have you done at the Harlem Fine Arts Show in the past? And if for folks that don't know, because we try to make sure that we're educating, we're making sure knowledge is power. The Harlem Fine Arts Show has been in existence for a good long time. It initially was at the Puck Building, and then Dion Clark, founder and CEO of the Harlem Fine Arts Show, kind of piggybacked and brought it up to Riverside Church around 2009. And it's been going ever since. It made a transition about 3 years ago to the Glass Building, which is like downtown in the 50s on the West Side Highway. And Richard Pelser, the general manager, said initially people like, Harlem Fine Art Show, like, how is this in downtown? But it's kind of like once we go to Harlem's a State of Mind, Harlem's everywhere, we went into the Glass Building and we put our Harlem on it. So just share, what did you do with the Harlem Fine Arts Show, and what are you getting ready to do at this upcoming event? Please share. Thank you.
Yeah. Last February at the Glass House, the Harlem Fine Arts Show, I was painting a piano. I painted a piano, which is like really exciting. And then once I did it, it was out in the public and people really enjoyed it. I got more hits as far as social media than probably anything I've ever done. So I linked up with Wiani, which is a really top singer. She did all like the America's Got Talent. She did all of those shows, and she sang with a piano accompanist, and it went really well. And this year, I'll be up there as one of the guest artists
Mm.
in the Hamptons. So I'll show my digital art, show my paintings, my original paintings, some of my digital prints. You'll be able to get a print of the Planet Harlem, and support it, because Planet Harlem, my mural, is all out of pocket. It's all out of
Okay.
pocket. Yeah, I got no
Oh,
funding for it
okay.
because I want to keep it pure. I want to keep it
Mhm.
for us, something to elevate us and not have our icons disrespected, with some
Mhm.
emblem or some corporate logo across
Mhm.
them. So any
Mhm.
support that goes to me is going to go to the students that I teach or go to
Mhm.
Planet Harlem to really develop it. 'Cause that's my mission
Okay.
in life, is to really just give all I can, is to be a vessel for the
Mhm.
visions that God has.
Okay. Well, I love it. Thank you so much. I'm inspired by you, and that's why I love doing this work. I think, we're sometimes you meet people and you understand that we're all talking the same language, and
Yes.
this is hard work. It's God work. And like you said, you just have to really manifest. The funding and the money. And it's not because I want money to buy pocketbooks or shoes or I don't know what, but to really elevate the community, to elevate myself, as we're in a world where we know that everyone should really have the right to shelter, to food, to all of those things. And in this country, at this time, as we know, many of us, quote, the working people are struggling. We're working and 30% of our salary is taken out in taxes while the president and whoever are like spending billions of dollars on war or helicopter pads or knocking things down, so we the people really have to take back the power and assure that everyone has the basics. And I love what you're saying in terms of just manifesting everything. So that helps me for today because I got a lot to do. So thank you. This is a good cup of coffee or tea to start with. I
Sure,
love
sure.
it. Okay, how can folks get in touch with you? How can they support you? And of course, they're going to find you Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Harlem Fine Arts Show. Saturday evening, I know there's a gala Alzheimer's Foundation is part of it. And I know that there's a gala that is going to be dedicated to B. Smith, who was one of those circular artists. And that's an amazing thing. So
Wow.
Sunday, I think it's dedicated to legacy artists. But just tell us, how can folks find you, please? Thank you.
Sure. Deo, DEO at planetharlem.com is my email address. You can go to planetharlem.com and find out more. On Instagram and Facebook, it's Planet Deo or Paul Deo. Just my name.
Okay. Okay. I love it. And this is Terri Wisdom, Harlem Network News. And you can find us on all social media. Subscribe to us. Call us if you have stories, 646-261-5397. Harlem Network News at gmail.com, harlemnetworknews.org. We do have our website. We're upgrading it, and we're going to probably talk to you, Paul Deo, to help us do
All right.
that. And also donate. You can donate by Zelle. You can donate by Cash App. Very, very significant and important because we're not getting the advertising dollars. And we've got to create our own, which is very important. And we want to make sure that people are informed, engaged, and called to action. That's the power. Media is power. And I'm also a colleague and classmate. He was an upperclassmate, Gil Scott Heron. So
Wow.
that really says to me, the revolution will not be televised, it will be live. Well, my brother is live right now. So thank you. Have a great day, and we'll be in touch, and we appreciate you.
You too,
Thank
Queen.
you.
Look forward to
Okay,
seeing you.
peace, peace,
Peace.
peace. Thank you.